All of that you just heard, everybody out there listening to and watching the Sports Circus, we're referring to our intern, Malik. He read a copy, and the copy wasn't really read so well. In fact, I'm going to read it right now for the segment sponsor for this one here. This segment is brought to you by the Social Register of Las Vegas, the only private business networking organization in Las Vegas, bringing decision makers together for over 23 years. Call today 702-256-0123 or visit them online at socialregister.com. So Malik absolutely hammered that one. It was really funny. But so that's what we were laughing about, all you at home that have no effing clue what we're talking about. Fun stuff, nonetheless. Okay, so we left off talking about this watered-down league, maybe bringing in new players or whatnot. And what I want to focus on are the rules by the NBA. And I don't like the idea of the one-year rule. Now, they changed that not too long ago, right? Just a handful of years ago, right? Now, the NBA is a privately held company, right? Just like the WNBA. It's a privately held organization. It's not a public company. It's not an institution. It's a private organization. Agree, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the one-year rule basically says we're going to make you sit for one season, high school players, and somehow magically you're going to gain maturity over that 1 year. Now, whether you're in college at this place or that place, it doesn't matter where they're going because they don't give a damn. They want to go to the NBA. That's their goal. Right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So here we go. There's a double standard. The double standard lies in Major League Baseball and in the NHL specifically. Players can come out of high school, they go right into the NHL at 18 years of age, or in Major League Baseball like Dwight Gooden going way back to 1985, same idea. Dwight Gooden at 18 went right into Major League Baseball. We have the same kind of scenario. So in the NBA, and I believe in the WNBA, players cannot go out of high school into the league at 18 years of age, correct?
That's correct. We have to finish college.
Okay. Well, you have to finish at least 1 year of college, right?
Right.
Okay. So, is it discriminatory? One word answer. Come on.
No.
Really? Now, I know you and I are on the same side of this, but I want to give an argument for the other side, and I'm going to tell you why this is illegal. This is a violation of the Federal Trade Commission. Oh, yeah. It is a violation of the Federal Trade Commission. Now, if you don't know who the FTC is, you better learn, because they are the agency within the federal government that everybody basically in business falls under, whether it's employment, whether it's securities, etc., etc. The FTC is it. I mean, they're like right next to God, in this country. So if you're not violating the FTC, you're in great shape. Remember, the FCC and all those other agencies all fall under FTC rules and regs. So, we have a problem. Yes, it is discriminatory with a big yes. All right? Now, what's worse is there's a lot of kids that come out of inner cities. They're trying to find their way into some path of success, and they find maybe that athletics, maybe in basketball, for example, is a really good path. For whatever reason, it works. It's great. It has worked for years and years and years. But here's the problem. And it's not just with inner city kids. It's kids all over the country. According to Wikipedia, here's one discriminatory action by the NBA. According to Wikipedia, which they have their sources cited, on opening day of the 2016-17 season, 8 teams did not have a white American on their roster. An additional 10 teams only had one. At the later point in time in the season, fewer than 10% of the NBA players were American-born white, 43 out of a possible 450. So that tells me that out of the 450, all the kids that come from the African American side, the Asian side, the Hispanic side, it doesn't matter what side. My point is, some of these kids are disadvantaged financially, right? We heard this discussion with Bo Kimball just a couple of days ago, remember? He said he came from a low-income family like a lot of his other colleagues, etc., right? And so this is a path to help kids get from point A to point B, period. Now, the NBA is saying, okay, we're only going to allow a small group, but here's where it gets worse. This is the real problem. The Boston Globe reports U.S. males who are at least 7 feet tall have a 17% chance of playing in the NBA, regardless of their skill. Americans between 6'6" and 6'8" have a .07% chance. If you don't like that one, get this. If you're a 5'10" male, which is the average height of the U.S. male, your chances of playing in the NBA are closer to 1 in 10 million, despite your skill. What does that say about Isaiah Thomas? He's that 1 in 10 million, right?
Right.
And how many good ballers out there are at Isaiah Thomas's height? You know, there's a lot of them. They don't get a shot, right?
Right.
So it gets worse. You know, look, the NBA teams should draft and pay players in numbers proportionate to their height? Not. Because that's exactly what they're doing. It's exactly what they're doing. And so here's how all of this translates over to women. I mentioned the FTC. Now, we have a real problem here. I have some notes. So we have a problem with, number one, the Civil Rights Act, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Now, it reads, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, as amended, protects employees and job applicants from employment discrimination based on race, color, sex, religion, and national origin. Right? Title VII protection covers the full spectrum of employment decisions, including recruitment, selection, termination, and other decisions concerning terms and conditions of employment. Now, how does this affect you? Are you ready for this? Now, we're getting into it. The Civil Rights Act of 1991 amends the several sections of Title VII to strengthen and improve federal civil rights laws and provide the recovery of compensation damages in federal sector cases of international and domestic employment discrimination. So, as the precursor to where I'm going, the Equal Pay Act, this is where it applies. The Equal Pay Act, as of 1963, protects men and women from sex-based wages, discrimination in the payment of wages and benefits who perform substantially equal in the same establishment. So, guess what? You, as a WNBA player, from a compensation standpoint, have been discriminated upon. Let me find my notes here. I just threw them across the room. They just complete disgust. Here it is. The average pay in the NBA is $4,587,521, almost $5 million, $4.5 million bucks. The approximate average WNBA salary is abysmal, $51,000. You're performing the same act, just as I read in the Civil Rights Act of 1991 and the Equal Pay Act of 1963. So I want to know, what the hell are they thinking about robbing the WNBA and all of its players and all of the dreams? Now, the women, as you know, Alicia, I'm going to close up with this. The women actually have to go overseas to get any reasonable money playing basketball. They could be paid up to 10 times what they're being paid now, this abysmal number. But we're going to pick that up on the other side because, boy, we have a lot to talk about. This is absolutely wrong. And we'll see you in a minute on the Sports Circus.